Karen,
Hello, how are you?
it's been a while.
It has.
And look at you all the way over in Oak Island, North Carolina,
That's right.
with the beach
That's
and the trees and the palm trees waving in the background.
it's beautiful here.
It's beautiful there.
Gorgeous.
And
Who
the
doesn't
fact
love
I
the
would
beach?
even believe it was a tropical island right behind you.
Well, maybe it's not quite a tropical island, but it's definitely a beautiful beach and a beautiful scenery here. It's gorgeous.
That's wonderful. Well, I'm in London, and it's actually quite a sunny day, but I certainly don't have that background to look at.
I don't remember sunny days in London.
Don't you? Long time ago. That was about 40 years ago. We do have them now. We do have
Okay.
the sunny day here and there, which is great.
Yeah.
So, Karen, you and I used to work together a very, very long time ago. And we're meeting again after some years, which is wonderful. And I know that you work as a lawyer.
I do.
Can I ask what kind of law you do?
Yes, I do corporate law and I have been in the healthcare field for most of my career. So I work in-house for a corporation.
So that means you make sure that in big companies they're sticking to all the latest rules about how people can be in big organizations and their health requirements, benefits, etc. Is that what it is?
Well, it depends. I mean, there's specialties within corporate law. So some people are doing employment and benefits, some people are doing litigation, some people are doing contracting and sales. I have done contracting and sales. I've done sort of smaller companies. I've done a little bit more, than maybe what my true specialty might be. Currently, I am a business segment lawyer, so I handle whatever the business needs are for my segment of the business.
Fantastic. And can I ask you, you've been celebrating your grays, I see, for a little while.
For quite a while. Actually, I never ever colored my hair.
Is
So
that
I, when we worked together, my hair was very dark.
yes, it
And I started getting a really cool streak. And, I mean, the good and the bad is I have the same baby face that I was born with, which is great, right? Maybe, I'll feel that way at some point. But when you are a, working mom and have a busy career and you would like to establish a little bit of credibility, it's kind of nice to have a gray or white hair. So I fully embraced having no additional, commitments in my schedule to color my hair and to give me a little bit more of a distinguished look. And I think the distinguished look has taken over now. I have it all over. I no longer have a streak. I have a whole lot of streaks.
There is a whole lot of beautiful streaks.
Thank you.
And I know that you have three boys who are an awful lot taller than you are.
Yes.
Are they
Yeah,
not? I mean, they're all well over 6 foot.
they are. They are, which again, credibility. I have to have that finger because I'm always looking up at them. They're three great, great guys. My husband is also taller than I. He also has had very dark hair and has similarly, let it start coming in, his gray and his white, which I love. I think, honestly, I would say that the first time I considered not coloring my hair and just allowing it to happen, I was looking around in the work world and in my, circle, and I was like, well, wait a minute, there are these men and mentors that I work with, and they look great with this gray distinguished at the temples. It's coming in. Why don't I do that? So that was just another impetus for, letting myself stay natural and letting the gray come in.
That's interesting. They are mentors, are they not? Mentors who are showing you an example.
Exactly.
And can I ask you, did you get any sort of pushback or any comments from people that you worked with when you decided to just, if you like, emulate some of the chaps that you were working with. Did anybody say anything about it?
I am not sure. I can tell you that I get stopped all the time by men and women who say, you have the most beautiful hair. I'm going to, women in particular say, I'm going to do that. And I say, let it happen. I mean, why not? I think that the more you see how, the gray look can be, I can still have longer hair if I choose. I can have shorter hair if I choose. I call them, nature's highlights. Why not? I mean, people are putting in blonde highlights. I'm putting in different highlights.
And then, as you say, it's a big reveal because you don't know exactly what's going to happen.
Right.
It can be more natural, and as you say, it's highlights, it's gray lights, it's silver lights, it's sprinkles and sparkles, however you want to call it. But actually, it's gorgeous with most people who do it because it's natural.
Yes.
So none of your lady women colleagues or anything said, why are you doing that? No, nobody.
I think there's sort of I guess, there are some women, I was maybe fortunate that I didn't start going gray until my 30s. There are some women who go gray a lot earlier and don't want to make that choice. But, again, for me at that age in my career, I was happy to have a little bit of legitimacy. I was happy to look not like a fresh out of school, what is this lawyer doing here advising me? She looks so young. So that was, part of my decision making. And now I really just think it's fabulous. I mean, I don't know. I don't even think about it. Although I have to say there are times when I see pictures of myself, recent pictures of myself, and I think, wow, when did that happen? I thought I still had the streak. I forgot the streak went around.
All around. But it's interesting you say this because you're working in America, you're working in corporate America. I have spoken to other ladies in other countries who work for very big organizations, and one lady in particular was explaining to me, and then she worked for a very, very high-end company, let's put it like that. And it was made very clear to her that she had to continue to color her hair in order to stay at the top of that organization, because that's what they expected from their women. And yet the men folk, no, just keep your hair neat and tidy, but you can just obviously be natural as you are.
Yeah, no, I did not have that experience. And, maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I don't think it has hurt me at all in my career. I mean, yeah.
You just did you.
Yeah, I did me. So blissfully unaware, I continued forward. And I think that, like I said, I was told my hairstylist, who at one point early on did say, maybe the first thing we should do is color your hair. And I said, absolutely not. We're just staying the way it is. If something changes down the road, we'll reconsider it. And I always said, I was the best advertisement, because people would ask me wherever I was traveling, airports, where do you get your hair done? How did you? And one woman asked me, I'll never forget, how do they do that color? And I was like, oh, they don't do it. It just comes in this way.
Like that. It just came straight out like that. Do you know that there are hairdressers who specialize in mimicking the lines through your hair? Because if you can't bear the idea of waiting for it to grow out because you've been coloring, and now you think, okay, I'm going to let it all grow out. You can spend thousands, and what they do is they mimic the gray tones through your hair, and you can sit there for the whole day. They will produce or reproduce what you will have in the future, and all you have to do is let it grow out. So it's instant gray, and it's going to look like how you're going to be.
Right.
Personally, I prefer your approach, and that was kind of my approach as well, because it works. It worked.
Yours looks great.
Thank you. So I wanted to ask you, would you say that your wardrobe has changed at all, color-wise, when you Did you have to sort of think about different colors, or did you just carry on?
Think so. I mean, again, I'm a pretty classics, I mean, it was always a white shirt and a black, suit, or maybe a pink shirt, and but there wasn't a whole lot of wild colors in my wardrobe before or now. Maybe more so since I now, have moved from Charlotte to Oak Island, but other than that, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think my complexion hasn't changed. It's, it still is the same. So I don't think that I would necessarily change the color of my wardrobe as a result of my hair.
And do you think that, apart from people coming and telling you how amazing it is, do you think people treat you slightly differently because, let's face it, people with gray hair tend to be older? Do you think they treat you differently, or do you think you should be treated differently?
That's a great question. Well, I guess, I've already disclosed that I sort of did it so that I would get a little bit of different treatment than maybe what I would otherwise look like, again, a little more legitimacy, or, they could realize that I am a little older than maybe I looked. But I think it's more about, I don't think I necessarily get any different treatment. In fact, I was just joking, with my mother-in-law that, that here in North Carolina, if you would like to buy any alcohol or any liquor, you have to go to a state-run store, and it says that you will be carded if you look under 40. And I said, I have never been carded. I'm so offended. Joking. But, I think it's really more about, I mean, who you are. If you're comfortable in your skin and, with your hair or whatever, I don't think I'd change my personality or expect anything different. I think, I just am who I am, and people can respond to that however they see fit.
No one's giving up their place for you on the public transport, or like,
regrettably, no.
Help you with your shopping or anything while you're in the
helping me across the street. No. No.
But it's funny, actually. I think, and especially when you see somebody from the back and they're gray, there's a certain expectation, and then you see the face, and look at you. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know your age, and you would think that you were, oh, she went gray quite early on, and which in fact you did.
Well, now I'm at the point where people say, oh, you look so young for your hair. And I just smile and say, thank you.
Exactly. Well, maybe people will start asking you to help them, to coach them through the transition, because you're such a great example.
Well, I hope, I think everyone's got to do what feels right to them, but I just think sometimes women feel pressure to be something other than what they, to color their hair, or certainly if they're in a work environment where that's the expectation, which I find hard to accept. But I just think it's a natural part of, aging. I mean, I'm not 21 anymore. And, the fact that my hair shows that is okay. But, that's kind of my approach. I never thought 30 was a big deal. I never thought 40 was a big deal. I never thought 50 was a big deal. I think things can always get better, and just more experience.
Well, you're definitely celebrating them very beautifully, and I'm really happy that we got to chat.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for talking to me.
I'm wearing my shades of gray.
You are. Oh, look at that. Every shade. That's super. Nice talking with you, Karen.
You too. Bye-bye.